بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. As you remember, last time we studied chapter 5 of section 5. Section 5 is في الماهية وأحكامها, and now chapter 6 is في النوع وبعض أحكامه. Last session was about fast, about differential. Now it is about no. As you remember, we said there are 5 types of mahiyat. 3 of them are dhatiyat, essentials, and that is jins, fast and no. 2 of them are not dhatiyat, they are not essentials. That is araz am or araz khas, which is called also khasse. These are accidental, these are not part of the mahiyya, but they have unity in existence. Araz khas. Araz am is more general, araz khas is exclusive. So for example, when you say insan is mashi, mashi means to walk. Mashi is not essential for insan. Okay, it's outside the mahiyya of insan. It's not in its jins or fast. Plus, mashi can be applied to insan, can be applied to some animals. So it's am. But if you say dhahik, this is exclusive to insan because no animal other than human beings can be surprised and therefore smile. So this was a division we had. We talked about jins already, we talked about fast. Now we want to talk about nor, some of the things that relate to nor. As you remember, we said that the relation between jins and no and fast and no is very close because jins is part of the essence of no. Haywan, for example, and insan. Haywan and insan have very close relation because haywaniya is part of the essence of insan. The main thing to remember here is that when you say haywan, it is somehow undecided. It's somehow ambiguous. There is ibham, as we call it here, because haywan doesn't specify. Is it to be monkey, donkey, cow, human being? Yeah. So haywan huwa no', but mubhaman. Although haywaniya in insan is part of insan, but haywan doesn't specify what type of haywan. But when you say natiq, natiq definitely can be only insan. So although both haywan and natiq are part of the mahiyya of insan, but one part is common, it's general, it can be found in other places, so that would not specify and determine what type of being it is, but the other part, which is natiq, can only be found in insan. So it makes it clear that this is going to be this type of being. Yes. So al-mahiyatu an-naw'iyyah, al-faslu as-sadis fi an-naw' wa ba'd ahkamihi, as I said, الماهية النوعية, mahiyya of the type of no, because there are 5 types of mahiyya. We are talking about no, we are not talking about jins or fast or araz amkha. الماهية النوعية توجد أجزاؤها في الخارج بوجود واحد. When you have insan, is it one being or 2 beings? One. So it means that haywan and natiq exist together as a unit, or haywan itself is جوهر ذو أبعاد ثلاثة نام حساس متحرك بالإرادة, but they exist together. It's very important. You should not think that whenever there is a human being, there are 2 beings, haywan and natiq. They walk next to each other. This is like, chemical compounds. When you have chemical compounds, it may have many different parts or ingredients, but they form one unit with new effects. Okay? This is different from physical combinations. When you have, for example, some pistachio and some hazelnut and some almonds together, they are not really becoming one unit. Although you may call it ajil, for example, as we say, but they are not really mixed with each other. And each of them keeps its own effects.
Can be separate.
Yeah, they can be separate, and each of them keeps its. But when things chemically are combined, they produce a new chemical, and sometimes the outcome is very much different from the ingredients. Can be sometimes opposite. Yes? For example, in water we have oxygen that can burn, but water can extinguish the fire. So there are some types of combination that form a new unit, and some are just put next to each other. Another example is like ashira, when you have a tribe, or you have askar, army. It's not that these soldiers or members of the tribe, they merge in each other and become one. Yeah? They can easily be separated from each other. This is a discussion that Ayatollah Mutahari has in his book Jami'ah wa Tarikh, Society and History, when he talks about what is the reality of society. In any case, you have to know that no is not including 2 separate parts. الماهية النوعية توجد أجزاؤها في الخارج بوجود واحد. Its parts exist outside in the real world with one being, one existence. Why? لأن الحامل بين كل منها وبين النوع أولي. Because when you make a proposition and you say al-insanu haywanu, or al-insanu jismun, or al-insanu natiqun, this is hamla awwali. Hamla awwali means that they are the same in existence, just they differ in concept. This is different from hamla shay'i. لأن الحمل بين كل منها means بين كل من الأجزاء. How many jaws insan has?
As in the body.
No.
Just one.
As a mahiyya.
One unit.
No. It has one being, but it has many jaws. Haywan and natiq. But haywan itself is a combination of many things. But all of them exist with one existence. الماهية النوعية توجد أجزاؤها في الخارج بوجود واحد لأن الحمل بين كل منها مش بين كل من الأجزاء. The predication between those parts and no أولي is حمل أولي. والنوع موجود بوجود واحد and no exists with one being. أما في الذهن but in our mind this was خارج but in mind فهي متغايرة. In mind they are different. حيوان in mind is different from إنسان. It's different from ناطق in the mind. بالإبهام والتحصل. The difference is that حيوان is مبهم. It's ambiguous. ناطق is decided or إنسان is decided. ولذلك كان كل من الجنس والفصل أراضيا للآخر زائدا عليه. As you remember, we said if you put حيوان and ناطق in a preposition, it is not حمل أولي. If you say هذا الحيوان ناطق, الناطق حيوان, it is حمل شايع. But if you put حيوان and إنسان or ناطق and إنسان, then it is حمل أولي. ومن هنا ما ذكروا أنه لا بد. Because of this is what has caused this opinion among philosophers as scientists. They say that sometimes we have combinations, tarkibat, some combinations that form one result, one unit. And normally these are those combinations that the parts need each other. They don't exist independently. They merge each other and form a new thing. أنه لا بد من المركبات في المركبات الحقيقية. They have said that in real combinations, real compounds, مركب means compound. أي الأنواع المادية المؤلفة من مادة وصورة. In the material types of existence that have form and matter, they say if you want to have true compound, true combination, there must be poverty and need among the parts. La Buddha, there is no, it's inevitable, there is no choice other than having faqr, poverty, wahaja, need among the parts. من بعضها, some of them need the others. حتى ترتبط وتتحد حقيقة واحدة, so that they get together and connect to each other and become one unit. This is the need that makes them united. And this is why we so much emphasize on need for unity. Because if people think they don't have need, they don't get united. If they think that they can manage without unity or they can be better off without unity, then they carry on as individuals. وَقَدْ عَدَّوا الْمَسْأَلَةَ أو قد عدوا المسألة ضرورية. عد المسألة means counted. وقد عدوا المسألة ضرورية. They have counted this as a بديهي. ضروري means بديهي, self-evident. لا تفتقر إلى برهان. It doesn't need argumentation. ويمتاز المركب الحقيقي من غيره بالوحدة الحقيقية. مركب حقيقي, when there is true compound or true combination, it has true unity. What does it mean? It means that parts come together and form a unity with new outcomes, new effects. Something new happens, really new. If you put plaster and wood and, for example, when you make a building, although it looks like a new thing, but it is the same thing just put together. But when chemical changes happen, or when, for example, we have madde and surah, something new happens. يمتاز المركب الحقيقي من غيره. So true compound is distinguished from those compounds which are not true, which are not real, بالوحدة الحقيقية. They are distinguished by having وحدة حقيقي. They have true unity, true oneness, but غير حقيقي doesn't have true oneness. وذلك, what is وحدة حقيقي? بأن يحصل من تألف الجزئين مثلا أمر ثالث. For example, we have two things, maybe we have three things, four things. So at least two parts, they are coming together, تألف from ulfa. Means they get connected, and a third thing comes out of them, له آثار خاصة, which has exclusive effects other than the effects of those two. Okay? كالأمور المعدنية التي لها آثار خاصة غير آثار عناصرها. Like chemical materials that when they are combined, they have effects other than the ingredients. لا كالعسكر, not like army, which is a group of people, مركب من الأفراد, but they just come together. They are not forming a new reality, although coming together can have some impact, but this is not something new. Yeah? Or al-bayt, house. Al-mu'allafe min al-liban, not laban. Libna means brick. Wal-jas, plaster. So you put them together, but it's not really a new entity. Then, after we understand this, we can discuss another thing. Muslim philosophers, before Mullah Sadra and before another philosopher known as Sayyid al-Sanad or Sayyid Sadruddin Shirazi, which is different from Mullah Sadra. Before them, they had the idea that Madde and Surah, matter and form, which are the same as Jins and Fasl. You remember we said last time, and also before, Jins is the same as Madde, only the consideration is different. Jins is La Bishart, Madde is Bishart Allah. Yeah, Fasl and Surah are also the same, but Fasl is La Bishart and Surah is Bishart Allah. So, Madde and Surah are outside. Jins and Fasl are mine. Before Mullah Sadra and Sayyid al-Sanad, the idea was that Madde and Surat outside are forming one unit, but this is not unity of, a new entity. In other words, there is tarkib inzimami, not ittihadi. Means they are put next to each other, but they are not really becoming one. Tarkib ittihadi and tarkib inzimami. Inzimami means they are attached to each other, they are put next to each other, they touch each other. But ittihadi means they form one unit. Okay? So it's not like army, like a tribe. It's like water. Water is tarkib ittihadi. Yeah? Because you have a new thing. It's not just the ingredients. Mullah Sadra and many people after Mullah Sadra, they have the idea that Madde and Surat do not exist separate from each other and they just touch each other. Mad and surat exist together as one unit. ومن هنا أيضا يترجح القول بأن التركيب بين المادة والصورة اتحادي لا انضمامي. This combination between madde and surah, between matter and form, is ittihadi, means they are united, not indhamami. They are not just attached to each other. You understand the difference?
Yes.
Sometimes you see,
Different compound altogether.
this is why I say when people marry, they should form a new unity, not live together only. Sometimes they just live together. This is in the moment.
Yeah, indeed, yeah.
Like you go to a car park, there are many cars parked there.
Indeed, yes.
There is no interaction.
Indeed, yes.
We don't want people just to be under one roof. We want people that in their mind, understanding, decision, planning, possession, everything become one.
Exactly,
Yeah? Yes. So you can bring philosophy to
yeah. Life.
family and society as well. كما سيأتي, inshallah this will come later. Okay?
It's a bit off topic, but you know when we discuss God's essence and attributes, we conceptualize things differently, but we say they're actually one in reality.
That's more than this. That unity is even more than
This
this.
is more than this, yes.
Because there, even in Mahi, there is no Mahiyya which is different.
Indeed.
That is maximum unity there.
Yes.
ثم إن من الماهيات النوعية. Okay. We have now a discussion which is very interesting, but things which are interesting can be difficult. Okay. How many individuals, how many instances can be for Mahiyya?
How many instances?
Instances, how many afrad? For example, monkey, many monkeys. Maybe a time comes there is no monkey, or like dinosaurs, there is no dinosaur. But as far as Mahiyya of dinosaur is concerned, there can be many. Monkeys, the same. Human beings, flowers, yeah? So these mahiyat that we know, they can have many, many individuals, or many, many instances, or many, many examples, or many, many afrad. Is it possible to say that all mahiyat are like this? For example, what about God?
There's only one way.
God is not mahiyya. First of all, this question was tricky. Yeah. So God is not mahiyya. So we leave God aside. But we come to mahiyat. What about those mahiyat which are mujarrad?
But they still have different mahiyya.
Pardon?
They still have different mahiyya, even though they're
Yes, but they can have different afrad or not. In al-mahiyat al-tabi'iyya or al-anwa al-tabi'iyya, those which are in this world, like human beings and lower. Human beings and lower. Animals, birds, insects, flowers, non-living beings. Mahiyya can have many, many individuals. Okay? But what about al-anwa'ul mujarrada? Those which are immaterial. As you remember, we said Jawhar has 5 types. Yeah? Aql is 100% mujarrad. Because nafs is mujarradun zatan, maddiyun fi'lan. So our soul, although in essence is immaterial, but because of having potentials, so it's not 100% immaterial. And anything lower than human beings, again, has potentiality. But mujarradat tam, as we will inshallah talk about them later, they are 100% bil-fi'l. Mujarradat tam, they has no quvva, has no madde, has no potentiality. Okay? So,
Sheikh, when you say that, I mean, does that mean that we say they have no potential and that means they are optimum level? That they are perfect.
whatever they can be, they are already.
So why can't they have a fraud then?
Pardon?
They can also have a fraud, like
No.
angels.
No.
Like
It's
angels,
very important.
thousands.
If in the last few years you have not learned anything apart from this, then
This is it.
it means you have wasted your because this is not enough for a few years. But it's important.
Yes.
Okay, I don't want to exaggerate. So, we say al-anwa'ul mujarradah, and they are munhasara, means they only exist with one example. They cannot have many. Why? This is where you have to listen carefully.
Do you mean one example in terms of number?
Means they have only one fard. Munhasar, we say munhasar bifard. Means they only exist in one example. Why? In order to explain why, we have to see how multiplicity comes into other mahiyat. Why there are, for example, different types of haywan, different human beings, different individuals for jism. How multiplicity comes. Sometimes two things are different from each other because they are totally from different categories. They have different mahiyah. Sometimes they have shared part and exclusive part. For example, the difference between us and angels is 100%. But the difference between us and flowers is not 100%. Or between us and other animals is not 100%. So sometimes the difference is in no completely gens and fast. Sometimes it's only in gens they differ. Sometimes they differ in fast. But if they are all the same, like two human beings, why two human beings differ from each other? Because in addition to humanity, which is common, they can take different forms or different accidents. Form is substantial, accident is accidental. They can take things which are making them different. For example, one becomes strong, one becomes weak. One becomes alim, one becomes jahil or remains jahil. One is angry, one is not angry. One is selfish, one is selfless. So human beings can get different characteristics, different qualities, for example, different locations, different sizes, quantity, and then we can have different human beings. But in order to have different characteristics, you should have potentiality. If something is 100% actual, there is no potentiality. So if we have a mujarrad of one type, how it can become two? Because if they are two, they have to be different. And no difference can come there because they have no potentiality.
But how do you explain the multiplicity?
So they are different in no. So every two mujarrad are two different no, different types, not two individuals of the same type.
So there are hundreds and millions of angels who are two different types, all different types.
If angels are mujarrad tam, according to philosophers, yes.
They are completely
Yes.
majority.
Each of them is separate. Like we have million types of flowers, million types of birds and insects and animals. You shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is, I mean, is there really a difference between two rose flowers, apart from the size? That's
So two rose flowers, if they are rose flowers, their difference is because of size or other things. It means that they have potential. But if there is rose flower and sunflower, they have difference in mahiyya partially. Yeah? But when it comes to mujarradat, they are not like rose flowers and they are not like rose flower and sunflower. They are totally different because they are basit and they are mujarrad. So it means that each of them is unique, really unique. Although every human being is unique, but we are not absolutely unique. We are unique, but at the same time we have commonalities. Yeah? It's like, for example, a factory produces many cars of the same type, but to each car adds something unique. So each car becomes unique. But it's not that 100% is unique. You understand? So we are all unique, but still existentially, conceptually, we have lots of common things among us, which is good. ثم, so this is very important. ثم إن من الماهيات النوعية ما هي كثيرة الأفراد. Among mahiyat no'iyya means those mahiyat which are no. We are not talking about jins or fast or other things. No, which is mahiyat tamme. Because why we say no is mahiyat tamme is complete?
can't be divided equally.
Because before reaching to the level of no, they cannot exist. No can exist. Jins cannot exist. Even fast alone cannot exist. When we reach no, means we reach the reality, the ground. Otherwise, anything higher than no is incomplete. Okay? So everything that exists must be a no.
As we had mentioned last time, that Mullah Sadra said the anwa amongst the human,
Yes.
the different types, like Ahle Bayt, for example, they're different.
Yes, yes.
They're different from us.
Yes.
So how can you explain that further? Because it makes it feel that we can never reach their status.
So according to him, then there is possibility that you change your type. You can change your type. It's a substantial and essential change. So our difference is not only difference between individuals of the same type. First, it's between individuals of a same type, but it can then grow and become so much that you cannot remain within the same type. You have to go to another type. ثم إن من الماهيات النوعية ما هي كثيرة الأفراد. And then after one line, ومنها ما هو منحصر في فرد. Among mahiyat which are no, there are those which are multiple in individuals or instances. They have multiple instances. كالأنواع التي لها تعلق ما. They have some kind of belonging بالمادة, with the matter. Madda, you remember madda? Madda is responsible for potentials. It's بالقوة. مثل الإنسان. إنسان is كثيرة الأفراد. Even if those afrad stop to exist, at least insan potentially can have many instances. Maybe they perish, for example, but we can have many insan. وَمِنْهَا مَا هُوَ مُنْحَسِرٌ فِي فَرْدٍ. But some anwa are only existing in one person, one individual, one instance. كَالْأَنْوَاعِ الْمُجَرَّدَةِ تجردا تاما من العقول. Like those anwa which are completely immaterial, which we call them uqul. This man is for bayan. Aql, intellect, not human intellect. Here we mean by aql as one of the 5 types of jawhar. These uqul are much higher than us. For example, according to Mashain, there are 10 uqul. Why some of them can have only one fard, one individual? Why mujarradat tam are unique? Each of them is a no by itself. Why? لأن, because كثرة أفراد النوع, multiplicity of individuals can be for one of these reasons, and none of them can be found in مجردات التام. لأن كثرة أفراد النوع إما أن تكون ماهية النوع أو بعضها أو لازمة لها. He says, kathra by itself is either part of the mahiyya or the whole mahiyya or implication of mahiyya. If it is part of the mahiyya, it doesn't make sense, because I think if you just imagine what he wants to say, it's easy to understand. He says, can you say that kathra is part of mahiyya, means it's inside the definition, inside had? No. Kathra is not inside the had. For example, you say al-insanu haywanun natiqun kathirun. No, kathra is not part of the mahiyya. Kathra must be something outside mahiyya. Okay? When it is outside, is it araz lazim? Means, is it araz which has to be there? No, because we can have one insan. There is nothing wrong in having one insan, or even having no insan. As far as mahiyya is concerned, it doesn't matter whether we have many insan or one insan or no insan. So it means that kathra is not taken as a part or condition. It's not zati, it's not even araz lazim. Araz lazim means something which is not possible to be separated. It's inevitable accident. So kasra is something that can happen. It can happen that something has many individuals. So how it happens? If it is not zati and if it's not araz lazim, so it is araz mufariq. Means it is an accident that can be separated. Means it happens for reasons which may exist and may not exist. And that is, as I told you, because of size, because of shape, because of weight, because of color, because of location, because of age, because of gender, all these things. And these need potentiality. Mujarradat tam cannot have these potentialities for different characteristics. So they cannot be kathir. Okay? So what is the reason for kathra? cannot be found, cannot be available in مجردات التعارض. وذلك لأن كثرة أفراد النوع. This is because the multitude or multiplicity of the individuals or instances of no, is it either this kathra is takun tamam mahiyat al-no, means gens fast all of it is kathra, which is doesn't make sense. Or ba'za is part of it. Or lazimatan laha means it is outside, it's accident but necessary. If it was any of these, then it means that every single member of that category or that mahiyya should be multiple. Yeah, because if kathra was inside mahiyya or araz lazim, every individual should have it. Means every individual should be kathir. Wahid has to be kathir. It's impossible. وعلى جميع هذه التقادير لا يتحقق لها فرد. Whether it is kol or juz or araz lazim, no individual can come to existence for that. Why? لوجوب الكثرة في كل ما صدقت عليه. Because everything that is called insan should be kathir. So even one person should be kathir. ولا كثرة إلا مع الآحاد. But we cannot have multitude without having individuals. So we should have individuals which are not kathir, so that then we can have kathir. We cannot start with kathra, we should start with individuals. هذا خلف. This is خلاف الفرض. But we say no, it's not zati, it is not araz lazim, it is araz mufarig, means something which is coming on some occasions and does not come on other occasions. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not there. وإما أن تكون لعرض مفارق, because of an accident which can be separated, means it's not necessary. يتحقق بإنزامه بانزمامه وعدم انزمامه الكثرة. If it comes, kathra comes. If it doesn't come, kathra doesn't come. ومن الواجب, or you can say if it's sometimes comes, sometimes doesn't come, we have kathra. Like weight. Some of them have weight, some of them don't have weight, so we have two. Size, we can have many different sizes. وَمِنَ الْوَاجِبِ. But if it is araz mufariq, then it is necessary أن يكون في النوع إمكان العرض والانضمام. That no must have the potential, the capacity, the capability of receiving and becoming subject for different araz. وَلَا يَتَحَقَّقُ ذَلِكَ إِلَّا بِمَادَّةٍ. And this cannot happen except if there is maddah, there's potentiality, as we will explain later. فَكُلُّ نُوعٍ كَثِيرِ الْأَفْرَادِ فَكُلُّ نُوعٍ كَثِيرِ الْأَفْرَادِ فَهُوَ مَادِّيٌّ. Any no which has many individuals is maddi, it's material, means it has potential. وَلَا يَنْعَكِسُ. وَيَنْعَكِسُ. And in mantiq, you remember, we have acts. So we say, for example, كل إنسان حيوان. عكس مستوي is بعض الحيوان إنسان. You remember we have عكس مستوي, عكس نقيص. كل إنسان حيوان بعض الحيوان إنسان. كل كثير مادي. And then if something is not maddi, is not kathir. Yes? It's عكس نقيص. كل كثير مادي فكل غير مادي غير كثير. Like كل إنسان حيوان فكل لا حيوان لا إنسان. Yes.
You mentioned مجردات التامة.
Yeah.
Is there any partial مجردات as well?
Yes, like nafs. وينعكس إلى أن ما لا مادة له وهو النوع المجرد ليس بكثير الأفراد. So if كل كثير مادي, then what is not مادي, which means مجرد, is not كثير. وهو المطلوب, and this is what we wanted to prove. Okay? So if we have مجرد تام, then it cannot take different accidents, therefore it can only be one. According to some of our philosophers, especially in the recent centuries, angels are mujarrad. Therefore, every angel is to be taken as one type. But in my limited understanding, I am not sure that angels are 100% free from potentiality. I think angels can also have some changes. At least this is the impression we get from the scripture, from Quran and Hadith, that angels can be sometimes changing. For example, we have hadith that even Jibreel says, I benefited from the mission of Prophet Muhammad. He said, Rahmatan lil alameen. This is not only for human beings, it is alameen. And they have benefited from this.
So they do take in accidents, you mean?
Pardon?
They do take in accidents then.
So then it seems that they are not 100% mujarrad, so they can have. And it is also said by some philosophers that it's difficult to say we have only 5 jawhar. For example, Ayatollah Misbah believes in jawhar mithali, or some ishraqiyun also believe in more than 5. So our knowledge is very limited. There is that much that we can go by philosophy, but if you are really following philosophical methods, then there are things that you cannot prove. You have to be silent. There is no way to establish that there are only 5 types of jawhar, and it cannot be 6, because some of them are by istiqra. Okay? So it's very difficult to hold that angels are all separate and different in their types. Muhaddisin, of course, they even didn't believe that they are mujarrad. You know, they even sometimes attributed some mistakes to them, whatever. But philosophers say, the Quran says, "Ma minna illa lahu maqamun ma'lum." Each of us has fixed position. So this means they are mujarrad. Or la ya'suna Allah ma amarahum. They cannot be thought that they disobey God. So they are certainly in a very high level, but to say that they are 100% free from any potential change, maybe it's difficult position to hold. Of course, I am just a talabah. We have to refer to philosophers. Yes?
Well, you answered that, thank you.
Just the thing I wanted to ask you here, he's saying is that you can lift yourself in such a state that God will ask himself what you want. इंसान खुद को बुलंद कर बुलंद इतनी की हद तक से पहले खुदा बंदे से पूछे तेरे क्या कहा है. So we can develop like that, can't we?
Sorry, what does he say?
Can develop.
Sheikh, what he says in English, from what I understand, you raise yourself to such a station that instead of you asking God to give you some, God asks you, what do you want? Well, I think that is more poetry instead of rather than philosophy.
But that is still insan.
Yeah. He's still insan, but he lifts himself to the stage. I think not just poetry, I think it's factual. Don't you think so?
It's possible in the sense that there are people that they are in a position that they are silent. They don't ask God for any requests, and God gives them without them asking. Okay? But this is not what we recommend to people, because we are recommended to always ask. You know? So this is not something that can be generalized. But in your spiritual journey, you reach a stage that you feel too embarrassed to ask for anything. You know? You feel, who am I to ask? Then God would ask your existence what it needs. Doesn't need to ask your tongue. Ask your existence what you need and would give you. But it seems that we will pass also this stage, because the Prophet and Imam, they kept asking God for things. This can be a mode, you know, that you go through, that is very good. It's a great success to reach that point of being pleased with what you have. But maybe you can go beyond and then ask, but at the same time you are content. Not you are complaining, not that you are saying that I have not been given enough. Yes?
You mentioned that we can change from one node into a completely different node. How exactly would this work? Is it completely voluntarily or through willpower?
Yeah, it should be by your decision. Because no one can change your deeper soul from outside.
Must need maybe a little
If they put you in a holy place or a holy group or in a bad place, vicious people, this would not reach your inner soul. But if you open your inner soul, then it can change. So you have to open it.
through maybe inspiration from God. Everything has to be.
If it is good change, or open it for bad change. You can open yourself for bad change. But if you want to safeguard yourself for any new change, you know, say, I don't want to change, no one can change you. Okay, so inshallah, we will carry on with the last two chapters of this section in the next session, inshallah. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.